Hello, everybody. Or all three of you. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be one of those nights where YouTube doesn't put out the notification. I can already tell, based on how few people are even chatting around even before the show started. Maybe it was because I was moving around too much. I probably should have just been like this. Yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to start a show looking like that, though, okay? Because, you know, even though that guy made a whole video saying, did you see how he's looking around? What's he doing? What's he doing? Well, I'm doing what normal people do. They look at things. They don't just stare blankly at the screen. Alright? That's what idiots do. Like literal idiots. Yeah, I'll give it a whirl, TJ. I'll give it a whirl. Yeah, so I thought I'd go over this missing person. Let's see. I'll give credit to. Yeah, Julia. She's always sending me missing persons cases. And let me see what she's got here. Get us another one. Okay. Yeah, I've got that. But I'll put this on the side here. But she sent me a missing. You know, she sends me a bunch of missing persons cases, and then I look through them, and then I actually picked this one because it seems like it's going on right now. I mean, there's a bunch of them going right now, but there's a lot of information, or at least visually, things to talk about. So maybe we can try to figure some things out. Now you're watching from Boston. All right. Well, that's where this takes place. Just wait a couple minutes here for people to show up. We're at 72. Can we get 73? Is that 73, 74, 74, 75, 75, 75, 76, 76, 76? Hey, thanks, Patty Nielsen. Appreciate it. Wow, right off the bat, too, huh? Very cool. Donated through Super Chat, Patty Nielsen. With the dancing bear. Yes, that's right. 106.7 FM. Oh, by the way, my Blazers, ironically, beat the Boston Celtics tonight in Boston. So I apologize for that, for any of you that are from Boston. 4-0 on the road trip so far. Pretty amazing. So how many do we got here now? Once we get to 100, I'll start. 93, 94, 95, 95. Okay, now hit that like button on the way in. And then also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, although I wouldn't think you'd be here that quickly if you hadn't. But, you know, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell that so many people seem to get removed by YouTube. Amazingly. Nope, we're at 100. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Here is the missing persons case that we'll be discussing. It is of a woman named Jassy. I don't know if it's Jassy or Jazzy, but Jassy, and then Correia. So like Correia, probably. So Jassy Correia is how I would pronounce it. So let's read this really quick. It says, let me turn down the audio here. Hey, thanks, Patricia Burns. You guys can also type in notes too, and it'll read them for you. All right, Boston police is seeking the... I'm not sure, are you supposed to say is or are? Yeah. Boston police is seeking the public's help in finding a woman last seen in Boston this weekend. Authorities say Jassy Correia, 23, was last seen at Club Venu in Boston's Theater District late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, and that her phone has been shut off since early Sunday. Correia was reported missing on Tuesday night by her father and a friend. Her father said she tried to reach her Sunday and her phone was off. Let's see. Okay, so she was reported missing this Tuesday, but she went missing on Saturday, about 3 days prior to that. All right, friends and family are praying for their loved one to be found. 23-year-old Jassy Correia has been missing since Saturday night after spending a night out with friends at Club Venu in downtown Boston. The tearful plea from Jassy's father. All right. Family members say she has a 2-year-old daughter and was living in a shelter in Lynn. Wow, a shelter, huh? Her daughter is with her family right now, but the rest are hoping flyers with information will help spread the word. Anybody seen my daughter or has information, I'm not going to stop the fight, Correia's dad, Joaquin, said. When I bring Jassy to this country, she was 3 years old. Now she's 23. I can't lose Jassy for no reason. Boston police detectives launched an investigation into Correia's whereabouts early Wednesday morning, and Boston police is asking the public to review surveillance video of a person of interest as they search for Correia. All right, so I haven't looked at your comments for a minute. Is the audio and everything okay? Yeah. All right, so here we go. I actually have it on Google Earth right here. I think this is what they're talking about. Venue right here. And I think this is it. It's the only place that I could find that actually was called, I think it says Venue Club or Club Venue. Venue Nightclub is what it's listed, and I'm pretty sure this is it. And it's on the right street and everything. So, it's right here. It looks like it's on a side street. I don't think there's another. I don't know if it comes out the other side. Let's check that out. I mean, that'd be kind of weird, a block-long bar, but maybe. Let's just check that out really quick. Usually it doesn't work like that, but... So it would be kind of like right in this area, but doesn't look like it. All right. So we'll just assume that that's the only entrance over there on that side street. Warrenton look like. Sometimes it's hard to get Google Earth to go down some of these streets like that, but there it is. All right, so let's just have this marked for now. That's where she was seen at the bar there. All right. Boston police detectives launched an investigation into Correia's whereabouts early Wednesday morning, which is today, and Boston police is asking the public to review surveillance video of a person of interest as they search for Correia. So here is this video right here. So this guy right there. I mean, what a crappy video though, right? Look at that. All right, so what we're gonna do here is I actually captured that on the side. Let's see if we can get that to look a little bit better. Alright, so I'm going to open up Adobe Premiere here and then load that sucker up and see what we can get going. Might take a minute for Adobe Premiere to load up, but not too long with the new computer. And by the way, the background that you see behind me, that's actually a camera filming the inside of my new computer. I know, it's a little dork festy, but you know, there it is. I'm just gonna open this up right here, and it's not a related project, but I'll just import it in. All right. Now I'm going to turn this up a little bit. It's so quiet. All right. Got the video in there, and I'm going to keep existing settings, scale it so it's in about right. I'll just go all the way to there. Ah, crap. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, the old Adobe Premiere just on my last computer, it doesn't keep the audio and video track together, but apparently it does now. So I think I'm gonna have to unlink and remove that one. Okay. So you guys, that looks a little bit bigger for you guys right there, right? Let's see if we can make this clearer than what they've given out. You can just try brightness and contrast sometimes, that helps. Yeah, so that's clear right there. You see how that sort of fixed some of that fuzziness part of it? Kind of looks like he has a beard on, doesn't it? A little bit. What do you guys think? Doesn't that look like a beard? Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get some different effects in here. I just bought the new version of that Magic Bullet software that does all that, the film looks. Put that on there. Effects. Enhancement. Try that one, people. I actually think this one, just the natural brightness one's the best one. Look at that. Right there. So he's got, looks like a necklace on. I don't know if you guys could see that, but watch when, let me make this as big as I can for you guys. Could be a necklace or a zipper top. Oh crap, went to the wrong one. Alright. Right there, okay. Right there, this thing is a light's hitting it, and it's reflecting off of it. And then hits it again. Now it could be a zipper, you know, like one of those. He could have one of those turtleneck zipper type sweaters on, but I don't know. It kind of seems like he has a beard on. What do you think? Thanks, NZTT. So I think right there is about as clear as you're going to get.
Thanks for all the entertainment and time. You are so much better than our local news. Smiling face with smiling eyes and being interactive rocks.
Well, when I say
cheers from Tina in New Zealand.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, when I say a beard on, I just mean looks like he has a beard to me. Yeah, I mean this part right here is gray, but it could be that he has one of those turtleneck things and his chin is underneath it. You know, it's hard to make that out. Like right there, you do get a shot. It looks like a beard right there. See that? Or that could be his neck, the shadow. You know, that's what's sort of it's difficult. Yeah, like right there, it does look like a beard. And then again, that's just this right here isn't a beard, okay? That's just pixelation. So don't go, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's the Kanika Jenkins case, okay? That's not what we're doing here. All right. So right there, you know, that kind of looks like a beard, but again, it's just so pixelated. The only really clear shot is this one. You know, that one looks about as clear as you can get. And I don't know, it's just so pixelated. See all this crap out here, the way it's different shades and everything? That's when you get when you have really poor lighting. And I mean, this camera, not only was it poor lighting, it also had really shitty, you know, there's crap all over the lens, it looked like. All right, so let's blow this sucker up. I mean, see, right now we're already getting a little strangeness, but I think this is clearer than the image that they've been putting out for people, okay? That looks a lot clearer to me. So maybe I'll save this out somewhere and then you guys can share it around. Okay, because I'm going to go back to the article here. Okay, so if you take a look at their video, look how that's not clear at all, right? All right. Alright, so let's watch this story up here.
Developing at 11, Boston police are trying to find a woman who hasn't been seen since last weekend. 23-year-old Jassy Correia was last seen outside Club Venu in the Theater District. And new tonight, within the last hour, Boston police released this surveillance video of a person of interest in her disappearance. Police tell us Correia was last seen leaving the club just after midnight on Sunday.
Like
she was seen getting into what is believed to be a red Nissan Altima. Earlier tonight, we spoke to Correia's father, who is begging for her safe return.
Anybody see my daughter or have the information about my daughter, because I want my daughter back. When I bring JC this country, she's 3 years old. Now she's 22. I can lose JC for no reason.
Anyone who has seen her or recognizes the person in the video is asked to call police right away.
Yeah, that's just Amazing Grace being weird again. You can always count on Amazing Grace to type in some weird shit, you know, inappropriately timed, you know, almost embarrassing, but I think she's kind of a little out there, you know, high heels, really, boy, that's hilarious there, Amazing Grace. Good stuff. All right, let's see what we got here.
Leonardi is standing by live outside of the Boston club where that woman was last seen. Julie?
Well, Vanessa, friends and family of that woman gathered here in downtown Boston at Club Venue, putting up posters with her photo on it, trying to find some answers, trying to spread the word about where she could possibly be. Now, we know 23-year-old Jassy Correia had been celebrating her birthday here with friends on Saturday night. Her father tells us he tried to reach her the next day and on her phone, but her phone was off and went straight to voicemail. And that's when they alerted Boston police that Jassy was missing. Family members say she had a 2-year-old daughter and was living in a shelter in Lynn at the time. Her daughter, though, is with family and safe, but the rest are hoping that some of these flyers put up tonight in downtown Boston with information will help spread the word.
Anybody?
Hold on, let me rewind that a little bit. Come on, God.
Boston 25 News reporter Julie Leonardi is standing by live outside of the Boston club where that woman was last
here in downtown Boston at Club Venue, putting up posters with her photo on it, trying to find some answers, trying to spread the word about where she could possibly be. Now, we know 23-year-old Jassy Correia had been celebrating her birthday here with friends on Saturday night. Her father tells us he tried to reach her the next day and on her phone, but her phone was off and went straight to voicemail. And that's when they alerted Boston police that Jassy was missing. Family members say she had a 2-year-old daughter and was living in a shelter in Lynn at the time. Her daughter, though, is with family and safe, but the rest are hoping that some of these flyers put up tonight in downtown.
Let's see. Jassy Correia last seen leaving Venue nightclub Saturday night been missing for 4 days. She is 5'3", 130 pounds, light skin. Last seen wearing orange jumpsuit, back exposure. Yeah, it's hard to read that
Anybody
quick like that.
See my daughter or have information by my daughter.
The rest are hoping that some of these flyers put up tonight in downtown Boston with information will help spread the word.
Jassy Correia last seen leaving Venue nightclub Saturday night. Been missing for 4 days. She is 5'3", 130 pounds, light skin color. Last seen wearing an orange jumpsuit.
She's 3 years old.
Back exposure, gold hoop earrings. No shoes.
I cannot see Jassy for no reason.
If you see her or know anything. Wow, no shoes, huh?
Now, Jesse's sister believes that there was some sort of altercation inside of this club that night with some of those friends that she was with. Now, we know that Jassy worked at a Boston restaurant. She did not show up to work on Monday. That's when the family started to become concerned. She was not active on social media as well. Now, family members, they say that they hope that some of these posters that they're putting up here in front of this club behind me here will help spread the word on where she could possibly be and bring her home safe.
Yeah, like, why was she in a shelter? Like, what type of shelter was she in? You know, was she trying to keep herself safe from an abusive person? Or, you know, I mean, she doesn't look like somebody that would just be out on the streets in a shelter, you know? Right. Okay, well, let's not do the sketchy shelter angle quite yet. Okay, that's way down the road. That's like the last thing. Apparently she was at the bar and they have surveillance of her leaving with somebody, and she hasn't been seen since. So obviously there's a reason they're interested in the guy on surveillance there.
Live tonight in Boston, Julie Leonardi, Boston 25 News.
I don't know, is Jim around? Hey, Jim, I don't know if you heard last night, but it was pretty funny. We were doing doing the show, and we were doing a newscast, and I just did the "back to you, Jim," and then right after I said that, the reporter said, "Back to you, Jim." It was hilarious. How do you know he went to the bathroom, Amber? Jim didn't actually announce that he was going to go to the bathroom, did he? Are you kidding? Like, he literally said, All right, be back in a minute, guys. I'm going to the bathroom. Oh, boy. I mean, I do that because I'm doing the show, and if I leave, you'll probably wonder where the hell I was, right? Yeah, so Jules is the one, I think. Are you the one that sends me the emails with the missing persons? You sent me this one. All right.
Yes.
All right, let's see. This one says, missing woman Jassy Correia last seen celebrating her birthday at Boston nightclub, family says. She was last seen with 3 friends at club venue on Warrington Street, where she was celebrating her birthday. Let's see. This is 15 hours. Well, I don't know when this was actually. The article 15 hours ago from when, I don't know. Still no word from Jassy Correia. She's now been missing for 4 whole days. We still have no information on her. Last seen with 2 females, and one of the females' boyfriend, downtown Boston Penelope Callendar, leaving club. Let's see. Downtown Boston Penelope Callendar. What is that? Boyfriend downtown Boston. Maybe there's supposed to be a comma there or something. I don't know what Penelope Callendar. Is that a person or a place? Last seen with 2 females, and one of the females' boyfriend downtown Boston. Penelope Callendar leaving club venue where she was celebrating her birthday. I spoke with Jassy Saturday evening before she went out. Her friends reportedly both claiming. See, this is the part that's nefarious right here. I don't understand this sentence here, by the way. If you guys can figure that out, let me know. But I spoke with Jassy Saturday evening before she went out. Her friends reportedly both claiming they left her with the other, while both of her friends returned home safely. So they both returned home safely, but each of them claims, well, I left her with her. And the other one says, oh, I left her with her. So they're both lying at that point. See? Both of them are lying. She's a mother of a 2-year-old girl. Please share and help us bring Jassy home. Her family filed a missing persons report with Boston Police Department. Officers confirmed. Police said Correia was seen with an unknown man in the area of 255 Street. So let's get this one. 255 Tremont Street. All right. So it's got to be around here somewhere. And that's probably where you'll see that fire hydrant that I couldn't find near the... So that's close. I almost went around this whole block looking, but let's see. It's just around the block. And we'll get this all dialed in here. Okay. So I think what we're seeing on that surveillance is this light pole and perhaps this fire hydrant right there. So let me open that back up again. Okay, it looks a little different. So we've got a yellow. I've seen another one just like this. I've seen one earlier. Let's see. On the previous Google Earth shot, let me show you this first. I don't think that's the same hydrant. I'm sure it's just right there, but let me show you what I was looking at earlier. So I was on this side wondering where that surveillance shot was from, because this is the place where the bar is, and if you look at this hydrant, that's how it looks. kind of more of that look right there. All right. Although it's always possible they've changed the fire hydrants. Yeah, see, like that one there has that shape. Kind of a square-ish top on it. So that could be it right there. There we go. Maybe like this one. Right? And then that's the pole. Kind of looking around here for now. Alright, let's look at that surveillance again. So you've got a light pole and then a fire hydrant, it looks like, with a yellow top on it. And then I don't know if this is a design on the ground there or what is that? Now, there's nothing shiny on his belt, whoever said that earlier. There's not one time that there's a shine like that necklace on his belt. So, you're wrong. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Let's see if that's on the street there. Maybe there's like something that looks like that. I wonder if that was actually a shadow then. Let me see. Now, apparently it's right here, though. Ah, well, you can get right there. Ah, you can't see it. So maybe that's the fire hydrant and they just changed the top. Who knows, right? But that's the only fire hydrant right in the area. There's that second one, though, that's right there. So it really could be that one. Maybe there's a camera up in here and it's filming this. And it could be that the guy, you know, walked around the block. But let's go back and take a look at that. So a man who Boston police say is a... Look how bad that picture is here compared to this one. I mean, that's a lot clearer in terms of, you know, you can see the whole shape of his face. He's probably got facial hair on, you know. When I say on, I keep saying on, but I'm not saying he's wearing a mask, but he's got facial hair and then, you know, relatively short hair, sideburns. Looks possibly, I don't know, it's hard to say if he looks Middle Eastern or what. But what do you guys think? Police said Correia was seen with an unknown man in the area of 255 Tremont Street at approximately 12:15 a.m. Sunday, shortly after leaving the nightclub. She was later seen entering a motor vehicle as opposed to a non-motor vehicle. I'm glad they said vehicle, you know, like, thank you for telling us it was a motor vehicle, because without that, I was going to say, oh, she was put into a vehicle. But it was one of those pedal vehicles that you get put. Yeah, exactly. Just what Jules said. My mind went to the Flintstones. Yeah, she was later seen entering a motor vehicle believed to be a red Nissan Altima with the same man in the area of Tremont and Herald Streets. Correia, who is approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall. Really? Because I thought earlier you said she was 5'3". Am I just not remembering that right? I could swear they said she was 5'3". Hold on a second. Didn't it say 5'3"? Yeah, well, this one said 5'7". Right, it said 5. Why are you guys all just typing in random shit right now? One of you typed 5'7", the other one 5'3", the other one 5'6". It's not any, 5'3" is what it said earlier. Right. This one right here. Let's go watch this one again. Right, there it is. All right. See that? Jassy Correia last seen leaving venue nightclub Saturday night. Been missing for 4 days. She is 5'3", 130 pounds, light skin color. Last seen wearing an orange jumpsuit, back exposure gold hoop earring, no shoes. See, it said 5'3". Yeah, I'm not sure what Boston Glide is, but yeah. Yeah, well, that's the flyer they put out. You'd think they'd get that right on the flyer, right? But in this article, WCVB, it says, Correia, who's approximately 5'7" tall, was last seen wearing big hoop earrings, an orange jumpsuit, and a jean jacket with an image of red lips and pink wings on the back of it. I don't know, which one should we go with? The 5'7"? Anyone with information? Hold on one second. Yeah. Darn it. God. Got so many windows open now. It's all over the place. All right. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts, the identity of a man or vehicle, should contact Boston police. So you've got this vehicle right here. So the vehicle that Boston police say Jassy Correia entered before she went missing. So they must think that this guy right here owns that vehicle. That's what I would think. Right? So they probably believe that this man right here owns this vehicle and they're looking for him. But then what's the deal with the two friends? How'd that happen? I mean, this is pretty weird. Now, she doesn't seem... I don't know what... Yeah, I guess she is Hispanic, but... She could be any height. But there said 5'3" on the flyer, and then it said 5'7" in almost every article. Now, I think this is her Facebook page right here. For my birthday this year, which is weird because that was her birthday, I'm asking for donations to Childhood Domestic Violence Association. So there you go. That kind of gives you an indication of why she was in the shelter. Right? Right there. I've chosen this nonprofit because their mission means a lot to me, and I hope you'll consider contributing as a way to celebrate with me. Every little bit will help me reach my goal. I've included information about Childhood Domestic Violence Association below. The Childhood Domestic Violence Association is leading the way the world understands and treats childhood domestic violence. Our mission is to increase awareness of CDV as an issue affecting hundreds of millions, to empower caring adults, communities, and organizations to serve as a lifeline to those children affected, and to educate adults who experience CDV as to the long-term impact so they can strive to overcome. She sounds like a really, bright person. Thankful for my father's love because y'all bitches. Yeah, she does write some of that sort of street slang up above, I've seen it. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, let's see this one again.
Friends say Jassy Correia visited.
Right now, a young mother has been missing now for several days, and her family is asking for help
You
finding
guys hear that?
Friends say Jassy Correia visited a Boston nightclub last weekend, but they haven't heard from her since that time. And just into our newsroom, Boston police releasing this video asking for help identifying what they call a person of interest. NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson spoke with her concerned family, joins us now from Boston. Malcolm.
This is a family that's trying their absolute best to remain optimistic, Phil, but keep in mind we're talking about a young woman here whose mother isn't in the picture and whose father has played the role of both mom and dad since coming to this country from Cape Verde more than 15 years ago.
If I don't see my daughter, I don't know how I'm going to live. I feel bad.
Joaquin Correa hasn't seen his daughter Jassy since Friday night.
She told me, Daddy, I'm going to go out.
On Saturday night, friends say she went to Venu nightclub in the theater district. Surveillance cameras capturing this person of interest outside the club and this red Nissan police say she entered.
Because I had contacted her Sunday and I didn't get anything for her. I just assumed her phone was dead.
Then her brother heard nothing Monday.
Monday, she didn't text me.
And her dad got no response Tuesday, her 23rd birthday.
Jassy, no answer the phone. I said, no answer the phone. It was straight to voicemail. So we try call.
Leaving the family to fear the worst.
I'm 19 right now. In March, I'm going to make 20. So I don't have nobody to call sister or brother if I lose my sister.
I'm assuming like Cuban or something.
But Jesse's dad is suspicious of his only daughter's belongings showing up inside her apartment this same night.
After you're going to get it, Jassy shoes, Jassy bag, Jassy keys.
As sadness sets in, it's hope they're keeping alive.
We're all trying to think of the best.
So what's weird is they have her shoes, keys, and purse, but how did she get into a vehicle? I mean, why was she walking around on the streets with no shoes? I'm kind of confused at some of the information here.
Outcome and think that she's alive and out there, but her father's kind of just like, it's been 4 days.
No, Dominican? Okay. Yes. Similar kind of.
And a staff member at Venu nightclub, the last place that the young woman was seen, had this to say tonight: we're working and cooperating with police. We have no information on our end, but are fully looking to help with whatever they need to bring her home. We're live tonight reporting in Boston. I'm Malcolm Johnson.
Yeah, but why would, you took him off in the club dancing, but why would you, it's snowing over there. You don't go outside without your shoes on. Oh, come on, Jesus. Just think it through a little bit, guys. Don't just type in, oh, well, her feet were sore, so you took them off, and then, look at, you're not going to go walking out in the snow with bare feet, right? So something else happened here that we don't know about. Yeah, I don't know. Let me hear what this guy's saying again. Here. The dad.
Asking for help finding her.
Friends say
Contacted her Sunday and I didn't get anything for her. I just assumed her phone was dead.
Then her brother heard nothing Monday.
Monday, she didn't text me.
And her dad got no response Tuesday, her 23rd birthday.
Jassy, no answer the phone. I said, no answer the phone. It was straight to voicemail. So we try call.
Leaving the family to fear the worst.
I'm 19 right now. In March, I'm gonna make 20. So I don't have nobody to call sister or brother if I lose my sister.
But Jesse's dad is suspicious of his only daughter's belongings showing up inside her apartment this same night.
Oh boy.
Jesse shoes.
Okay, jeez.
Jesse bag. Jesse keys.
As sadness sets in, it's hope they're keeping
Okay.
alive.
So here's what I see maybe happening. Okay, so she's out. Maybe she got in an argument with those other two friends. Then they all drove back to her place, and then things went really bad at her place. Maybe she was strangled or something. And then she was taken away, but you're not going to take her shoes and all that stuff. Her shoes, her purse, everything was left at her own house. So I would think that she literally made it back home. I don't think anybody, unless somebody's trying to really throw people off, she got into the car with shoes on. So that explains that. She did have her shoes on when she got in the car. And then when she got, I'm probably sound like I'm screaming because I never turned it back down again. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so she gets into the car. She has her shoes and her purse and everything. And then she makes it home, but then something happened at her home. Okay, or something happened to her elsewhere, and then somebody got her keys, drove over to her apartment, and put those things in there to make it look like she made it home. I don't think that is as likely, though, as actually her making it home and then something happening. Yeah, maybe something like that. Nicolina. That was in my mind. I just didn't want to say it. Yeah, something like that. I don't know what you're talking about, Lex. Right. Well, the thing is she got in the car, the red car, right? And they're wondering about this guy. So maybe they all went together. You have the guy here. She's fighting with two friends, let's say, in the bar, right? He's walking back to go get his car right then. Then he pulls up, and they all four are in the car now. The two friends, her, and this guy driving it. Then they end up taking her back home. Something happens. It could have just been the two girls were angry, and they killed her, strangled her, or something like that. Then they left her shoes. I mean, it's very, very ominous that the shoes, the purse, and keys are all at her apartment, and she's not there. Okay, that's bad news. Very bad news. And I'm pretty sure that I saw earlier an image of her literally walking with the girls, the friends, or whatever you call them. Friends generally don't kill the other person. Yeah, like right here, right? I think this is an actual picture of her. Hold on, let's play this though, real quick.
For a woman who went missing after a night out in Boston. Jassy Correia's family say that she hasn't been in contact with anyone since Saturday night. She was last seen with friends at the Venu nightclub, which is in the theater district. And a short time ago, Boston police released this surveillance video. They want you to take a close look. They say it shows a person of interest, a man walking down the street. Investigators say that Correia was later seen getting into a red Nissan with that same man in the area of Tremont and Herald Street. Anyone with information is asked to call police immediately.
So that's his car, obviously. But now, where do the two girls, the two friends, come into play now? If she got into the car with that guy, it could have been some sort of a setup where, maybe he was driving and, maybe they got in a fight and she came walking down the street and he's like, hey, can I help you? And picked her up. I don't know if this guy's associated with the other two. It sounded like she went out with three friends, a guy and two friends. Yeah. Right. We already, well, we have it on surveillance. What's the name of the street that she got in at, though? Type it in. Yeah, just type it in. I don't see it right here. Yeah. Are you talking about right here or? In the article it said that? Oh, okay. Let me listen to that again.
Breaking news right now. Police are looking for a woman who went missing after a night out in Boston. Jassy Correia's family say that she hasn't been in contact with anyone since Saturday night. She was last seen with friends at the Venu nightclub, which is in the theater district. And a short time ago, Boston police released this surveillance video. They want you to take a close look. They say it shows a person of interest, a man walking down the street. Investigators say that Correia was later seen getting into a red Nissan with that same man in the area of Tremont and Herald Street.
Okay. I think that might be where we already saw it, though, a minute ago. Let's see. So that's already Tremont and Herald. Yeah, no way. That can't be way over there. Okay, that's not right. All right, so let me go to Tremont Street. This is the other way that I do it. So Tremont Street is right. I think it's. Let me put the. Yeah, the roads are on. So yeah, that's Tremont Street. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind, and now we'll type in Herald Street. That's Herald. Yeah, it can't be way over there. So now I'm just going to kind of have to look around. It's going to be right near here, though. I guarantee it. It's not going to be a big, long walk. All right. So that's Tremont Street right there. Mom, this is Herald. Okay, so right here. All right. Somewhere right in this area right here. Entered car. So that's not far away at all. See, that's close. But so she walked that whole distance? I mean, that's probably less than a mile, I would imagine. Yeah, it's a quarter of a mile from the bar to here. Now, here's the thing, is the guy was walking this direction. They must have had surveillance. See, here's what they probably have. Is they have surveillance of him getting into that vehicle right there, and they have him right here, and that was a better shot, but based on clothing and everything. I don't know if it was snowing out or not. You could probably look it up. So that car actually seems like it was right here, just in my mental memory of it. So let's see if that looks right. I guess that's what memory is. It's mental. little double speak there, I guess. Yeah. All right. So this looks like it's moving in this shot here. So they must have. It does seem like it's moving though. Let's see. Okay, there's a fence right there, so maybe that's not the right. It looks like there's a fence right there, and then a pole, sidewalk, and then. So let's see if we see anything like that. Ah, could that be it right like that? Perhaps. Okay, there's a manhole and a line, and then a pole. Let's see if we can see that. So it feels like it's this one right here. Watch. See that manhole right there? How it's right in the T position of this, and then a pole, and then there's the fence. How much you want to bet that that's it? Okay, so there's the manhole, the long white stripe, the pole, and then a fence. Let's see if that works. So the fence would stick out farther to the left from the pole, right? Then we've got the white stripe and then the manhole there. Let's see if that works. Yep, I think that's it. Boom. See that? There's the manhole, the white stripe, that pole, and then the fence comes out to here. And then it looks like there's a little grass to the right of the pole. Is that a factual thing? I don't see that there, though. That's a thing. I don't know if that's grass, though, that we were looking at, but I think that's it, though. I mean, everything else matches. It's the only manhole in the area. Like, that one's not it, obviously. Hey, cop, how come we got to use J-Vision right now? Hey, officer, help out. Yeah, so you've got this manhole right there, the white stripe, the pole, and the fence. All of that works. And then let's take a look at something else. What else? What's this look like? I can't tell what that is back there. Is that just a really low shot? Filming back, you know, it's hard to make that out. But this stuff here all matches perfectly. That, this, and that. Alright. Okay, so we'll just assume that that's where the car was driving by. Put that right there. And that's, you know, it's in the intersection area that they mentioned. You can't really tell Sooner history because Street View is sometimes like 7 or 8 years old. But let me try this. Hold on. I'm gonna go to I'll tell you exactly when that Street View was. Google, what's it called? Google Maps. Ah. history. Venue. Okay, right there. Okay, so this is August 2017, right? So a year and a half ago. There's actually a 2014, 2016, 2017. So we can look at what 2014 looked like. Yeah. And then we could try 2015. 16, I mean. Yeah. The 2017 one's the closest one, so that's what we'll have to go by. Anyways, it's right in that area, okay? If you want to sit there and debate, like, oh my God, is it really that one? Because I see something else. Okay, I think it's it. All right? Yeah, they seem to care a lot, the family.
Anyone with information is asked to call police immediately. And a short time ago, Boston police released this surveillance video. They want you to take a close look. They say it shows a person of interest, a man walking down the street. Investigators, short time ago, Boston police released this surveillance video. They want you to take a close look. They say it shows a person of interest, a man walking down the street. Investigators say that Correia was later seen getting into a red Nissan with that same man in the area of Tremont and Herald Street. Anyone with information is asked to call. Correia was later seen getting into a red Nissan with that same man in the area of Tremont and Herald Street. Anyone with information is asked to call police immediately.
Yeah, we've already went over that, Jim and Amber. They were wearing shoes. She was wearing shoes. She got in the car wearing shoes. She left the club wearing shoes and everything. But they actually then made it, somebody took her back to her apartment, and then her shoes got left there. That's how it worked. See, that's the deal. Because now we know for sure that she left the club with her shoes on. She got into the car. And then after that, somehow her shoes, purse, keys, all that stuff made it home to her where she lived. Although it said, I thought she lived in a shelter. I guess you can have your own apartment. Yeah. Well, you'd have to do a better job, Jim. I just wanted to make sure you realize that we already figured that part out, so you didn't have to. Ann Healy. So mean, she said. Yep. That's one of my mugs coming up. Gray, you're so mean. I probably should just have "you're so mean" on it, because then you can refer to anybody. And then oogla boogla.
So good yet so mean.
You gotta put spaces between the O's, then it'll say, so good yet so mean. Yeah. Yeah. But here's the deal. I'm going to pause for a minute on this case. I don't know if I have much more we can add to it anyways. I know that there's some Facebook posts and comments. Maybe I can go find those, but there's something I wanted to ask help with here. I have my stepbrother, Andy. I consider him a brother, just like my dad, his stepdad. He's my dad. He just got diagnosed with a cancer that he has in his, sort of started in his mouth, and he chewed tobacco every once, not all the time, but You know, I actually chewed tobacco at one time and I quit, but he kind of just kept, you know, I didn't do it for that many years or anything. It was just like when I drank or something like that. But he'd chew, and then he got this thing in his mouth, and he didn't go to the doctor quick enough. And now it's really in a bad place. But he's going to try, you know, we're going to try to do these experimental, like a therapy that's, you know, experimental trial type thing that looks promising. I mean, my dad's a doctor, my brother's a doctor, my other brother, and, you know, they're optimistic, but it's, you know, it's not a very good thing. So if and I'm not a really a huge religious person, okay, but if you guys could all put out some positive thoughts and prayer. I don't know if it's it is an immunotherapy. 2 different types of drugs he's going to be given, and one's going to boost the immune system. It's not boost the immune system. It's going to be tailored for that particular type of cancer. Okay, so if you guys can put out some prayers for him, I'd appreciate it. It couldn't hurt, right? So thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, and if you're somebody that smokes or chews, you know, think about quitting, because I mean, the thing that what I've seen here is not good. It's really, really fast. I mean, it was like, you know, he went from a place where he, you know, it hurt in his mouth, and he went to a place where he could barely speak in like 3 weeks, and it was like this crazy. And you know, and the hospitals were so slow at doing things. It just angers me a lot. All right. So, anyways, if you guys can put out those prayers, that'd be great. I don't normally ask for stuff like that, but that's because normally this stuff doesn't happen. Our family usually, I mean, it's been luckily pretty healthy over the years, you know, other than the typical crap that people get, you know. Now his name is Andy. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. So, I don't know if I have... Is there any... Well, let's see. There is a folder I mentioned a minute ago. I got kind of sidetracked there, but I really wanted to ask for your help on that. Let's see. Let me get this... I think there's some messages that people put out. Let me see if I can find them. Oops. And let's see, this is, somebody said, yo, Penelope. Oh, so there's a Penelope calendar here. Is that like, remember that name popped up a few minutes ago? You remember that? Oh, thanks, Jay. I'll get him some coffee or a Starbucks when the everything gets better. But it's really been... Yeah, it's just been a nightmare, you know. It's just disturbing almost. It's crazy. So is Penelope Callendar like a pseudonym that she has or something?
Lord Jesus, please guide Andy's doctors and be with his family. Amen.
Oh, thank you. Now you're buffering. Are you guys buffering? I don't see any buffering on the YouTube stream either. It's not doing the little clocking thing that you normally see. Green, everything looks good. That's on your end this time. Okay, so it says Penelope Callendar here. Remember that name that popped up? Does anybody know what this name is here? How do you post about bracelets that you're selling before you post about your best friend that's been missing for 3 days? So Penelope Callendar must be a person. Okay, weird. So that must be, okay, that's one of the friends. So there was 2 friends that went out. Let's see if we can find a Penelope Callendar now. How about that? Looks like they tried to tag her right there. I'm sure there aren't too many Penelope Callendars. I don't think that's the friend. Huh. Maybe they're not. Penelope Callendar. Okay. There's an R-A-R at the end. No. Don't see it. So it says right here, yo, Penelope Callendar. How do you post about bracelets that you're selling before you post about your best friend that's been missing for 3 days? See, that is something, right? Like literally, if you went out with your friend and they're missing, would you be posting about bracelets on your Facebook page? No. I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is about my brother, I remember he texted me on the 2nd of February saying that's when they found out that he had this type of cancer, and it's like yesterday they finally were able to get the biopsy results of another thing that they found. It was like, Jesus, really? What the hell are you guys doing? Anyways, I really appreciate all of you guys'
My heart is with your family, and I know how infuriatingly slow hospitals are. I just had a lovely 4-day vacation in one, rolling on the floor laughing.
Alright. Well, sorry you had to be in the hospital for 4 days yourself. Hey, thanks, Raven. Yeah, I was just thinking you can't find it. And she should have. She's as a matter of fact, that makes her like a pretty big suspect at this point. Really? Your friend's missing and then you're out putting in bracelet posts? I think that makes, and the fact that she then hid her page after that shows that there's something up there. They need to really get a hold of that friend. The friend knows something. There's no way in hell that friend doesn't know something. These are all things that Jules sent me. Okay, today is my best friend Jassy's Correia, I guess is how they say it, 23rd birthday. She's hasn't been seen or spoken to since Saturday. This is pretty blurry since I zoomed in on pixels, everybody. See, look what happens. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. There's an alien running down the road. Can you see that right there? Look. Okay. See, this is what happens. Now we're at the actual pixel level. You see these little squares here? And that's a little different color. And then all these things combined turn into something else. Like from out here, right? You zoom out, like right here, you can see that smiley face is a smiley face with a tear, right? Now watch what happens when you zoom in all the way on it. Okay? Nobody would, in the world, just looking at that, just from this level, would be able to say, oh yeah, it's a smiley face. You know? Like that's the eye right there, right? But you get people trying to analyze things at like this level. You know, one frame, one zoom level outside of clarity. You know, I mean, it's ludicrous, okay? Right? But it is kind of neat. It's interesting how from here, you can't read any of this really. It sucks, right? But your eye, like you could probably, okay, S-H-E and then, but look, when you zoom out here, further, it's actually clear. And see, that's the reality of it. The best view of surveillance footage, unless it's HD, is from its original view. And if it's HD, you can zoom in without losing quality a little bit. But you see how at this distance you can actually read it? Right. Today is my best friend Jassy Correia's 23rd birthday. She hasn't been seen or spoken to since Saturday night. If anyone in the Boston area has seen or spoken to her, please contact me. And my stepbrother doesn't have my same last name, in case there's any of you trying to sleuth it out. Okay? That's not, I'm not going to tell you what his last name is. I know that there's people that try to do that kind of stuff. If anyone in the Boston area has seen or spoken to her, please contact me. This is not normal for her. She has a daughter at home. Jesse, if you're reading this, can you please reach out and call me or your father? Everyone is worried sick. This is not normal for her. Somebody wrote, I can't see the, well, actually, let's see. There it is. This is not normal for her, implying she is choosing not to return. And Jassy, if you're reading this, please reach out and call me or your father. Everyone is worried sick. See, someone's trying to break down and do analysis of somebody writing, trying to be inspector, like, oh yeah, I've got it all figured out. Look at an assumption. She's free to log into Facebook. Yeah, of course that's what it is. Of course that's an assumption. Like this Brooke person here thinks they're just really, oh, I've been taking handwriting analysis for years. I've got something figured out here. Look at this is not normal for her. Right, because what they're saying is it's not normal for her to just disappear. Yep. Implying she's choosing not to return. No, that's not implying that at all, you idiot. Okay, what it's implying is that it's not normal for her to just disappear for a couple days. Okay? And Jassy, if you're reading this, please reach out and call me or your father. Everyone is worried sick. So they're at that, when they're saying that, they're hoping if she is out there doing something that she didn't normally do, that she'll get in contact with them. An assumption she is free to log into Facebook to read statuses. I feel like the language choice you've been different if she's genuinely believed her friend was missing. Shut the hell up, okay? Your analysis is terrible there, okay? I don't even care if this is written to the friend that said that. This kind of stuff like this it drives me nuts. All right. What's this one say? Repost, please. Share this. I have over 3,000 friends on Facebook. Please don't go by this post and not share it, even if you don't read it. Still no word from Jassy Correia. She's now been missing for 4 whole days. We still have no information on her. Last seen with 2 females and one of the females' boyfriend downtown. See, this is that same thing we read before. Downtown Boston Penelope Callendar leaving club. Like one of the friends' name is Downtown Boston. Come on. Yes, Penelope Callendar, sure, okay. I spoke with Jassy Saturday evening before she went out, her friends reportedly both claiming they left her with the other while both of her friends returned home safely. She's a mother of 2-year-old girl. Well, what if they both left her at the bar, but both of them didn't... Okay, I'm going to throw this scenario out here. What if both friends left her at the bar, they were just angry or whatever, and they left? But both of them claim they left her with the other one because they don't want to look bad. You're like, oh man, you just ditched your friend. Sort of like in the Kanika Jenkins case with, Bree and Shemaya and Monifa. They get accused, oh my God, you didn't stick with your girl, right? So let's say both of them just left her there, perhaps. And then she's sort of walking in a direction to maybe get back. Right, maybe ditched her or something. And she's walking to get back, and then this guy offers her a ride. Who knows? And then he took her back to her place, did something, and took her. I don't know. It seems weird that there's 3 people involved, though. Although, it sounds like the guy was part of the group. So it says... From Jassy Correia, she's now been missing for 4 days. Last seen with 2 females and one of the females' boyfriend. So is the guy walking and owns the red car the boyfriend of one of the friends? Do we know that? I guess we'll be finding stuff like that out pretty soon. Yeah, it was supposedly her birthday that they were all celebrating. I mean, I'm sure it was her birthday. I'm just saying that apparently that's why they were with her. Hey, good night, Jay Crockett. Thank you. Yes, it's a crazy world. Right. Well, we don't know that for sure, Amanda. That's just a theory that I have. It could be that both of them went with her and got into that car. Here's the one important thing that we need to know is the car... Let's find that picture of the car again. This car right here. Is that the car that's owned by the boyfriend of one of her friends? Because apparently 3 of them showed up. 2 friends and a boyfriend of one of the friends. And her. So 4 people total, but there was 2 friends of hers and then a boyfriend of one of the friends. So is this car right here that guy? Okay? That's all we need to know. If it's not, then we're dealing with something totally different here. Really? So she was thrown out of the club, huh? That's interesting. So this guy then, why was he walking alone on the street and not with the other 2 girls, if that is the boyfriend? All right, let me see if there's anything breaking coming up here. Let me type her name in. Jassy Correia. Yeah, Jassy Correia was seen with an unknown man near 255 Tremont Street. So that's not accurate there. Okay, that's the location he's filmed on surveillance. I think. Actually, hold on a second. Hold on a second. this might be inaccurate here. I wonder if the surveillance that he was filmed at is right near that car. No, we actually figured that out, right? Yeah, it's right there on the other side of the street there. Probably walking by one of the, right in this area. And so he was probably walking back to his car, right? Heading this direction like this. Heading over to his car. I think that's surveillance footage. Let's see what... Let me zoom back out of this. So that was 12... Ah, crap. Hold up. 12:12. Right there. You see that? That's when he's walking by. 12:12. That's probably the clearest shot right there. So 12:12, and then they say that. Let me get back to that. (12:15). Boston police say Correia was seen shortly after leaving venue in the area of 255 Tremont Street with an unknown man at 12:15. See, there's a lot of like misinformation here. It's not quite, it's not adding up. Because that guy was by himself at around that time. And his car is a quarter-mile away. He wouldn't be able to get there in 3 minutes. Trying to find that one we were just looking at that gave a specific time, and it seemed different than that. Yeah, police say Correia was seen with an unknown man in the area of 255 Tremont Street approximately 12:15. Okay, so maybe, you know, like just after this, they see him again on a different camera, but why don't they show us that? This is... Well, what time is this one? This says 12:12, yeah. So maybe just after that he runs into Correia? That's pretty confusing. Yeah, so 12:12, how can you... At 12:15, they can tell that he's walking with her, but they don't show us that footage. And then later, apparently, she's in that vehicle that we see. So they must have other footage of her actually getting into the vehicle with this guy, and they're not showing it to him. Okay, here's what I think. I think based on the 12:12, why do you keep typing in 12:12 on surveillance? Everybody keeps typing that in over and over again. Is that like a new thing? Yeah, whatever. 2:12, whatever. Okay, so 2:12 in the morning. Okay, so it's 2:12. Right. I just keep saying 12:12. Right. Okay. Yeah, I keep saying 12. All right. I keep seeing this 12 here, and then I keep saying 12 over it, but regardless. Right. At 2:12, here's what I think they have. I think they have him on another surveillance camera but this is the clearest shot they have of the guy. So see that right there? That's the clearest shot they have of him. But they see a guy that looks like that and Correia get into a red vehicle. Okay, but it's blurry and you can't make out his face, so there's no real value for it at that point, probably. So then they show you this picture so you can try to figure out who he is. And then they also show you this. This is after she's gotten in the car with him and drove off. So how in the hell she ended up with just him? I mean, she's alone with him in the car. So I don't think the friends, they could have something to do with it if there was some kind of weird setup where they called this guy. But, I mean, that seems so out there. To me, it seems like if it's true that she got kicked out of the club, she was walking down the street alone, and this predator type guy is walking behind her. And it could also be this. All right, let me throw this one out there. This guy right here is actually a good Samaritan. Gave her a ride all the way home. Then the person that she's hiding from, or is scared of that she's in a shelter for, showed up. And he did something to her, seeing this guy drop her off, and it made him enraged. Right? He was just waiting outside for her to get back home. And then when she got inside, he took her. Killed her and took her somewhere. That's a possibility, right? Because this guy, when you look at him, he just looks like a guy walking around like more upper scale. I'm not saying that, he can't be a killer, but he could be, for sure. He could be, but he could also be somebody that literally gave her a ride home, and she made it into her apartment, and then the guy that she's scared of went in and got her. Because again, it's a little bit like the hell, all the cases are in my head now. They go over and over again. The Melissa Pesky case, right? I mean, what are the odds that in the Melissa Pesky case that she's leaving that night, driving down a freeway, escaping somebody who she's in fear of her life of, her husband, and then she gets shot through the window, and that's a random person? I don't think so. So in this case, you've got somebody that she's in a shelter for, I don't know why she's in the shelter, but it sounds like perhaps maybe there's some kind of an abusive situation going on. What do you guys think of that theory? Yeah, something like that. So she makes it home. Then the jealous boyfriend sees her dropped off by some guy, goes in and kills her, and then somehow takes her body out. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different scenarios at this point because we have so little information. So we're just throwing out speculation based on the little facts that we have. The other one is that she's in this car. Maybe she even knew those other. Maybe this is the boyfriend of one of the two girls that were still in there, and he knew where she lived. He did something to her. Then got her ID, saw where she lived, perhaps, went there, opened her door up, put her purse in there, shoes and all that stuff to make it look like she made it home. So these are just sort of reasonable theories. I haven't brought up aliens or anything. Yeah, well, it's weird, though, because they make it sound like it was kind of like an apartment. I get what you're saying, though. You can't, shelters are protected. Right, so. Well, answer this then, Honey Hush. How did her shoes get back into her apartment? If she's not the one that put them there in your scenario. Well, we haven't quite eliminated aliens yet, Jim, but working on it. I don't know what you're saying yes to. You answered so late. Right, so she made it there. So how did she end up disappearing without her shoes? Can you answer that, Honey Hush? Didn't think so. Well, there you go. Maybe somebody's from the shelter. That doesn't make any sense, Honey Hush. Yeah, like, you mean like she allowed him to come in with him, right? And things went wrong. She didn't have sex with him. That was our original theory. And then he kills her, just takes her body out and dumps it somewhere. Yeah, but what do her two friends have to do with anything, though? They weren't in the car. She was picked up by that person. Her friends are seemingly out of the picture unless they set the whole thing up. Thank you, Kit Kat. Aliens.
Alien, 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 alien.
Well, Nicolina, they say that her stuff was at her house, not the club. They say her shoes, everything, her purse and everything were at her apartment or whatever she has. Where she was living. So how'd that stuff get there? Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, Jules. No idea. You can't just sort of put half sentences in there and have me try to figure out what you're saying. I have no idea. What panel? Kentucky Kim, what panel was that? I've been on tons of panels, but I don't know which one you're referring to. Yeah, there's a million things that are possible. I've said all the things that are, you know. There's a million things. Alien abduction. You know, that's possible, right? It's just not very likely. You know, I've said almost all of them. But you have to now think, she made it home, her shoes made it inside the house. What scenarios, rational scenarios, are there that allow for her shoes, her purse, and everything like that to make it home? Okay? So the guy driving somehow got her home, or, I mean, like you're saying, if it's one of those facilities where you can't just anybody walk in, then she would have had to be on her feet. But then how would he have gotten out with her body? In, you know, using that same logic. I don't know about that, Daniel. That doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, she was fighting with friends, but she got kicked out of the club, right? Somebody said above that she was kicked out of the club. All right. So maybe she was dropped off, and then her friends went later, and she sort of buzzed them in or let them in. They did something to her, but how did they get her out, Honey Hush, of the building without being seen by the same security mechanisms that you say you don't just let anybody in? I mean, you would think that somebody looking at somebody carrying something really heavy, you know, not that she's that heavy, but 130 pounds, a body is hard to just move. With two women, especially, moving a 130-pound body outside an apartment. Yeah, this is pretty. Now it's actually a little bit more interesting now, because you've got that element where the father says that her shoes, purse, phone were all in her apartment, but she had them with her when she was out. Thanks, Kentucky Kim. Some people don't, but I appreciate that you like it. And that's all I really want. I only want people to subscribe that actually kind of just get the way I am. You know, we kind of have this banter going back and forth. I don't let people off the hook for their comments. You know, you got to be able to explain it a little bit. You know, like right now, me and Honey Hush are working through something here, right? That's how it works. Well, we don't know, PH, but her purse and things like that were inside, and her shoes were inside of her, where she lives. I don't know if you call it an apartment, but that's where her stuff was. Now, when the father says in her apartment, is he referring to where she lived prior to going into the shelter? Wouldn't that throw another little twist into it? I didn't see the part about the panel. Did anybody ever answer that? What panel you were referring to? Doesn't look like it. Oh well. I think she was staying with someone for a weekend. Well, they said she was in a shelter. Yeah, we need more facts here. Let's if you guys see any facts in the next couple days, send them to me at my email at I'll type it in here, grayhuze2@gmail.com. Don't send me what you think or things like, I mean, you can add that to the email, but send me a link that has a fact in it. Something, because we're really starting to throw some weird shit out there now. I just read some comments above that are like, well, didn't she do this? Didn't she do that? And it's like, okay. Yeah, I think her cell phone, her dad said, let me see if we can go back and find that video again. Hold on.
You've probably heard.
Oh, hold on. Wrong one. Wrong case.
Jassy Correia's family say that she hasn't been in contact with anyone since Saturday night. She was last seen with friends at the Venu nightclub, which is in the
family is asking for help finding her.
Friends say Jassy Correia visited a Boston nightclub last weekend, but they haven't heard from her.
Outside.
Yeah, this is the one.
Heard nothing Monday.
Okay, hold on.
She didn't text me.
And her dad got no response Tuesday, her 23rd birthday.
Jesse, no answer the phone. I said, no answer the phone. It was straight to voicemail. So we tried to call.
Her phone was turned off Sunday morning.
I'm 19 right now. And in March, I'm going to make 20. So I don't have nobody to call sister.
So listen to what the dad says coming up.
My sister.
Right here, right here.
Jesse's dad is suspicious of his only daughter's belongings showing up inside her apartment this same night.
After you're going to get it, JC shoes, JC bag, JC keys.
As sadness said.
Okay, so her cell phone's missing. All right, her cell phone's missing, and it was in her apartment. So when you're in a shelter, do they refer to that as an apartment? I don't think so. But maybe, right? But it sounds like she was in an apartment. She has an apartment, but she was staying in a shelter to hide from somebody. Okay, or something like that. I don't know, but now it seems to me that her shoes and those items he just mentioned were put into the place that she normally lives, which makes it a little bit more freaky. I don't know. Would you really call it an apartment? It's a halfway house. I guess we need more information on where she actually lived. So let's say she has an apartment, but she was staying in a shelter. So she had two things. Is that a possibility? I mean, I don't imagine, like someone like her, it looks like she probably lived somewhere. Then she went, oh, I got to go to a shelter. So she's not going to lose the other place too. She wasn't only living in a shelter, right? Yeah. That's crazy, no cap. Yeah, we need to get more information. All right, it sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on. These articles aren't even accurate. You have 5.3, 5.7. You've got the same address given for where she got in the car, and then another article will say it's over here at this other intersection. How loud is can I ask you guys something in the background? This new computer's fan, it's not that loud, right? Can you hear it? Listen. All right, it's there, right? It's not that loud though, right? Okay. Gray article says, don't know what you're talking about. Need to put in full sentences. Oh, good. All right, cool. So basically you can only hear me talking right now. Because I can see it on in my OBS software. It's at minus 40 decibels, but minus 12 is where you want to be. So maybe it's quiet enough. Gray's dad is suspicious of how any evidence. I know. We already said that. Yeah, we said all that, Kelly. I just played it on the screen. Were you not here for that? Weird. No, I don't think it's working that hard. That's it behind me in the shot here. See, here's my computer. The inside of my computer is behind me right there. But it's got like 12 fans in it, and you know, a lot of RAM. It's not working hard at all. Okay. So where do we go from here? The fans are pretty quiet. They're not totally quiet. They were a lot louder until I took it to Fry's Electronics, and then they slowed the 4 bottom fans down to about half because they would sort of start synchronizing with the table. Yeah. Well, I don't see what you're talking about, Kelly. Sorry, man.
It's hope they're keeping alive.
We're all trying to think of the best outcome and think that she's alive and out there, but her father's kind of
right.
like,
So right here it says this is exactly what it says in the video though.
And a staff member
it says after you get JC's shoes, JC's bag, JC keys, and JC's balloons, and bring it to the house and put it inside the house, something's wrong. What do you mean? Oh, for her birthday balloons. Weird. Huh. Wow, so her birthday balloons made it home. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's the same thing I just read in a different article. You just sent me the same one that I already have on the screen. Yeah, so the balloons, her birthday balloons, were also in her apartment. That's weird. Well, I'm just doing some thinking here, Kelly. I'll read it when I get, have the time. Right here it says, he questions her shoes returning the most. Yeah. If you take shoes, you have to see where JC goes, he said. Right. He doesn't speak that great of English, so like that sentence structure. If you take the shoes, I mean, these are all things we've already said, so it's not really... it's not, because he's saying the same thing that we think. isn't really that, fascinating, I guess. You take the shoes, you have to see where JC goes, he said. The family's keeping hope alive. Sadness sets in. We're all trying to think of the best outcome and think she's alive out there. Yeah, maybe she took a different pair of shoes. Who knows? But she came home with balloons. This isn't like her. Her shoes are still there. Her purse. How about her purse, though? Why would she leave her purse and take another pair of shoes? She only took her cell phone and shoes? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Nah, it's okay, Kelly. And I like to sort of do my own show, Let's see. Why would she leave her keys? Right. All those things. Keys, purse, shoes. The only thing they can't find is her cell phone, and miraculously, it was turned off that same morning, which is standard for killers, right? They get your phone, they turn it off, and then they ditch the phone somewhere, never to be found again. Really? Which friend? So they're saying on Facebook, one of her friends dropped her shoes off along with their... Okay, I'd have to see proof of that. So she's just walking down in the dead of the winter in Boston with no shoes on, and then gets a ride with somebody, and then later on, the friends, feeling guilty about the argument, drive over and drop off the... somehow are able to get into her apartment. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Come on. That's crazy. Thanks, Claudia. Yeah, thanks, Wicked Gaming. Wicked Gaming. Tonight on NBC. Watch Wicked Gaming.
Appreciate ya Gray, Oogla Boogla. Oh, and let's not forget your mean. Grinning, squinting face blowing a kiss dog face alien.
That was a pretty good one right there. Right. Yeah, take that one and use it on your channel, Wicked Gaming. Tonight, Wicked Gaming destroys the aliens from Zeta Minor on the new game called Oogla Boogla. There you go. All right. Put that as your intro. Yeah. Well, I think we've pretty much gone about as far as we can on this one tonight. But let's all see if we can find more information. I don't like just throwing out there, well, the friend said on Facebook. That's just absolutely meaningless. You can read things that somebody wrote on Facebook, but actually having somebody type in, well, somebody on Facebook said, and even if somebody on Facebook said, well, one of the friends dropped it off. How do you know? How does that person even know that? The dad doesn't seem to have a clue. How? Well, you see, Gray, that was after. Oh, come on. Well, the friends may have lied about who was the last one to be with Correia. But that could be explained that they didn't want to say that they just ditched her there. Or that was Honey Hush, I mean. Right, but that doesn't mean anything. You'd have to give me proof that happened. Just having somebody say that. So you're saying the friend themselves, one of the two friends, said that they took her stuff to her apartment and dropped it off? Is that what you're saying? Okay, get me the screenshot of that. Let's see it. And prove that was one of the friends that made it, that was out partying with her that night. Okay? Show me that. If you can't show me that, then it's not real. You know, prove to me that she's one of the two friends, because all we have is the one name, Penelope, right? We don't have the name of the other friend. So if you're saying, well, it's the other friend, well, how do we prove that? I don't know what Vic of Dogman Encounter sounds like, but maybe that's good. I don't know. Yes, Orlando Buffalo. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, you're just correcting how you... Oh, he said Gary. See, I read it as Gray because it's just so often. Yep, Penelope deleted her Facebook page. Yep, we know that. It's... I'll put my email in here for you. grayhuze2@gmail.com. Right there. Okay? So let's see what you got. Oh crap, you know what? I just realized something. I'm going to start being accused of being the guy in the video. Look, I've got dark hair. I could have just taken my glasses off. And look, I mean, geez, probably a goatee right down there. Sure, yeah. That's what you get in the Kanika Jenkins moron case. That's the kind of logic they use. All right. Weird. And I have to be honest, that case made me have a lot less hope in humanity. Just how stupid people are, Unbelievable. Just... you show them something that's absolutely factual and reasonable, and they would rather believe the absurd because it conforms to their theory. Oh, I've had my head on the... I've had just my hair on the... I don't want to take my hat. Now I have hat hair. Forget it. Okay? Not doing it. Yes. Or confirmation bias. They only want to see things in a way that confirms what they believe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I still don't have that email. I'm not sure why it would take so long to send the email. I think we'll have to see if it's coming or not. That's so much better than the surveillance that they put out. Look at that. Look at that. When you see that, you get a really kind of a clear picture of the guy instead of that really faded crap that they have. Yeah, let's speed this down a little bit. All right, here we go. 50% speed. Yeah, it looks to me like he's got one of those sort of long wool black overcoat things that goes down just below the pockets. I can't tell if it's... Let's see. Looks like it might be buttoned up. Perhaps one of those buttoned up ones. He's got his hands in his pockets. Looks like he might have a necklace on right there. Dark hair, So, I mean, I'm just trying to put out the basics there. Okay, got the email. Let's see what we got. Wait, you cut it off. Come on, man. You cut off the edge over here. Maybe I can make it out. Okay, Nia Mondesir. Is that what you want me to read? Let's see. Nia was fighting with her and her shoes flew off. Okay, well, that's a whole different thing. And I picked them up so she wouldn't lose them. I tried to get her to take them, but she was too busy arguing with her friend. I dropped off Jassy's gift and shoes at that chick's house where I picked them up. Oh, man, now it's totally confusing. Oh, man. I mean, if this is real, it could just be somebody making this shit up, though. So let's read this. Nia was fighting with her and her shoes flew off, and I picked them up so she wouldn't lose them. So you kind of picture they're at a bar. She's getting a fight, you know, grabbing the girl's hair, and they're doing this. And then her shoes fell off. Hey, Kelly, I don't even know what you're talking about. Go do something else. You're about ready to get removed from the channel. Okay? You're just all over the place. I don't read all your comments, okay? Hey, no problem, Beth. Nia was fighting with her and her shoes flew off, and I picked them.
Thank you for all that you do, Gray.
No problem. Flew off, and I picked them up so she wouldn't lose them. I tried to get her to take them, but she was too busy arguing with her friend. I dropped off Jassy's gift and shoes at that chick's house where I picked them up at. Then that chick pulled up and got out of the cop car. Wow, out of the cop car without Jassy? Wow, that's weird. And I got out of the, and she, let's see. I picked them up at, then that chick pulled up and got out of that cop car without Jassy. Okay, well, so now, if this is all true, let's say, then her shoes and everything being at her house have nothing to do with anything other than the friend brought him back home, and that guy that picked her up just took her somewhere, and all she had with her was her cell phone. But what was she doing? Walking out on the street? That's nuts. Jesus. I'm already working with detectives. At this point, I'm looking to find my friend, too. I'm the one that contacted her family and the police and said we need to find her. I just got my phone back from Venu on Tuesday. Well, why was it there? Yesterday, and when I realized she hadn't tried to contact me and wasn't active on social media, I knew something was wrong and started tracking her down myself. No matter we were fighting that night, she would have still hit me up or something. Would have her from. You cut off a lot of the important words off to the side there. Someone knows or saw something. The chick Penelope was in front of me, probably my house, with her man when I was getting out of the car with the cop. Okay, so this shows you that Penelope is the one that dropped off, if it's true, the keys and the, not the key, yeah, you know, the shoes and everything, and the balloon. Because this is the girl that actually was dropped off by the cop. So it says, this chick pulled up and got out of the cop car with Jassy. And then right here it said, we would have still hit me up with something, would have heard from her by now. And then it says, the chick Penelope was in front of my house with her man when I was getting out of the car with the cop. Because she was dropping off Jassy's gifts and her shoes. Why the hell did she have her shoes? My biggest regret is getting blackout drunk. But at the end of the day, Jassy's other friend, who clearly was sober one in the situation, left her, and she was her ride. Yeah, see, she was ditched, just like we were saying. And if this is true, though, right? Left her, and she was her ride I was driven home by a damn cop because her girl was my ride, too. So Penelope was her ride as well. So obviously, if I had to be driven home, a cop had nothing to do with her disappearing. So what time of night was this? Yeah, so let's just say this. The two friends are trying to spin out of like why they ditched the other friend, why they weren't with the other friend. I think now it's more likely that the guy that the police are looking for, this guy that we see here, did something directly with her. Because now it seems like now there's a plausible reason that she didn't have her shoes on and her purse and everything. She probably got kicked out of the club for fighting, right? And let's see, who was she fighting with? Was she fighting with this friend? Unless she hadn't tried to let's see. Said we need to find her. I just got on my mind. Something was wrong. I started tracking her down no matter what. No matter we were fighting. Okay, so there you go. This is the girl that was fighting with her. She got a ride home with a police officer. Penelope collected the shoes, the purse, and keys. And then, I don't know if at that point is when, Correia got kicked out of the of the restaurant, and then was walking, and then this guy that they're looking for is the one that picked her up. Yeah, okay, balloons, right. But see, they should have gone out the door with her. They shouldn't have lost track of her. So that's the whole shouldn't have, could have, But it does sound like they did go over to the house and drop off the stuff. But did she walk on the street with bare feet in the middle of the... So this guy, probably trying to be the knight in shining armor, drove up next to her and saw her with bare feet and says, hey, do you need a ride? And she's drunk. And of course she'd say yes. Got in the car, guy kind of looked normal. And then he drove her off, killed her somewhere, and they're not going to have any clue where she is. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because he definitely was walking around near the club. So, maybe he was walking, saw her without shoes, and helped her to his car and said, I'll give you a ride home. Total predator type. So there you go. Yeah, like Wally said up there. That made sense. Well, that definitely added some intrigue there. Thanks for sending that to me. What's interesting about this is you've got, these are texts from both the friends. These are messages. This is the one, this is from Penelope, it sounds like. Because it said Nia was fighting with her. So this is Nia. Nia was fighting with her and her shoes flew off and I picked them up so she wouldn't lose them. I tried to get her to take them. You mean when she got kicked out? Why did you stay there, though? But she was too busy arguing with her friend, Nia. I dropped off Jassy. So you kind of skipped a lot there, Penelope. You skipped quite a bit of stuff there. I tried to get her to take them, but she was too busy arguing with her friend, Nia. And then all of a sudden, I dropped off Jassy's gift and shoes at the chick's house where I picked them up at, which is Nia's apartment. And so the dad didn't refer to it as that. Okay, so I think we have a little bit more clarity here if we can trust this information. It seems trustworthy because they sort of corroborate each other's stories. Then that chick pulled up, Nia, and pulled up and got out of the cop car without Jassy, right? So at this point, this Nia here and her boyfriend, they probably wanted to still club for a little bit, whatever. Or they were leaving too, because it's late now. Bars usually close down around that time, 2 something in the morning. And then Correia leaves the bar and she has no shoes on and she's drunk You know, Nia was really drunk, it sounded like. So both of them are probably really drunk and doing just a stupid argument about nothing. She's walking down the street. This guy walks right behind her. They probably even have her on footage right before that, but don't want to show it because she's probably drunk. They're probably being sensitive about it. Then this guy walks behind her, and then they're seen walking together, but it's not clear, so they don't want to show that. They just really want to identify this guy because they are I think the police are very sure that that guy is the last person known to have seen her. Right? And he has that red vehicle. I think tomorrow you're going to hear something. I think there's going to be some sort of resolution tomorrow. Somebody's going to recognize that face tonight. Somebody's going to recognize the guy that has that face that has a red car. And tomorrow they're going to be able to say, and then he'll come up with some lame, oh, well, I dropped her off at her place, and who knows after that. Yeah, where does it say that they all left at the same time? If they left at the same time, how did they get separated? Orlando, how'd that happen? Can you explain that? Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, we were already looking at that page earlier. Yeah, right here. This is Europe, Correia. She's got, like, you know, she's got a lot of pictures of herself on there. She's pretty, you know. She does a lot of the, I don't know what software that is that puts the ears and the little nose whiskers and crap on women like that. But, I mean, if you're pretty, just don't worry about it, you know. Just take a picture of yourself, you know. And no duck lips, all right? Yeah, Snapchat, all right. But hey, Kelly in Texas, thanks for putting up the links and information in there. But you got to type in full sentences or send me an email instead, because I don't read. I read about 40% of the chat. So if I miss some of your comments, you know, that's just the way it is. Yeah, quit doing the duck lip thing, everybody. Yeah, the duck face, you know. Maybe I should do it more. I'd probably get more viewers, you know what I'm saying? What? No cap? So what was... Did anybody answer that question a minute ago? I had for... let's see. Yeah, I definitely like this screenshots that were sent in here, though. I think that's pretty valuable. I'm going to save these out. That looks like I got another email that came in. Let's see what this one is. Just to show you, I sent you a news article before and you mentioned me. It was about the teacher who was killed. Oh. Huh. Just so you know, I said teacher who was killed. Oh, Rachel Del Tondo, is that what you're referring to? Oh yeah. All right. Yikes, Gray. No, I don't know what that means. Sorry. I've already. Even when women are beautiful, they use this stupid filter. Yeah, I know, it's weird. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. I think people also take way too many pictures of themselves and put them on Facebook. It's like, you know, Facebook isn't, it's more for just kind of communicating with people. You're sort of putting yourself in a weird situation. with the psychos out there, like this guy right here that was following. If he did something. It sounds like he did. It looks like it to me. It's like here's the thing. Here's what the police know. They know that she was walking with this guy, and they know that she got into his car. They just don't know who this guy is. Yeah, with this guy in the picture right here. Which, let me move it to a better frame because it's better later. Right there. That's right. No duck lips. Thank you, Ice Cube 81.
Hasha no duck lips.
So what was the answer to that question a minute ago, that they all three left at the same time? Is that a fact? Because that doesn't make sense to me. If they left at the same time, wouldn't they have, stayed together at that point? Would they just all three walk different directions? One got taken home by a cop. The other one gets taken home by the boyfriend, drops off the balloons and the shoes and the purse. And the other one, the girl that's missing, just sort of gets picked up by some guy. Really? It doesn't make any sense to me. If they all left at the same time, at least two of them would have made it home together. I mean, Penelope was the ride for Correia and her friend. Okay, that same guy had sent to me, CHY617 sent me a better screenshot of Nia's comments. So now we can just read it without the... I'm already working with detectives. At this point, I'm looking to find my friend too. I'm the one that contacted her family and the police and said we need to find her. I just got my phone back from Venu on Tuesday. So she just got her phone back yesterday, or the day before yesterday, depending what time frame you're in the country. And when I realized she hadn't tried to contact me, and wasn't active on social media, I knew something was wrong and started tracking her down myself. No matter if we were fighting that night, she would have still hit me up, or someone would have heard from her by now. Somebody knows or saw something. The chick Penelope was in front of my house with her man when I was getting out of the car with the cop. So basically, a cop drove her home about the same time that Penelope made it home. Well, let me hold on. This is kind of weird. Okay, hold on. Someone saw someone. Penelope was in front of my house with the man when I was getting out of the car with the cop because she was dropping off Jassy's gift and her shoes. So did she must have handed those things to Nia, or Penelope just left them on the door front, because she's not going to have a key to Nia's apartment, right? The chick Penelope was in front of my house with her man when I was getting out of her car with the cop because she was dropping off Jassy's gifts and her shoes. Why the hell did she have her shoes? My biggest regret is getting blackout drunk. You know what? I mean, I guess you can't really... Well, the thing is, they think he was with that guy. But it's hard to rule out completely Penelope and her guy, because we don't know for sure if they didn't have something to do with Correia leaving. You see? We don't know that. We have no idea, because... yeah, why, maybe that whole story about they were fighting and I picked up her shoes is bogus. That's just what she came up with, and Nia can't remember any of it. But it sort of sounds like a real story to me, the part about picking up the shoes. I could see that happening in a fight with two girls in a bar. If you have high heels on, they're going to come off, right? So that actually rings true, just reading that part of it. My biggest regret is getting blackout drunk, but at the end of the day, Jassy's other friend So she's blaming Penelope. Clearly was the sober one in the situation. Left with her, and she was her ride. Left her, sorry, not left. Situation, left her, and she was her ride. I was driven home by a damn cop because her girl, meaning Correia's friend, which is Penelope, was my ride too. So they all drove together. So here's how it seems like this is how it logically makes sense to me. Is Penelope and her boyfriend picked up Nia and Correia at Nia's house. So Penelope knew where Nia's house or apartment was. So they all go out to the partying, and they're out dancing, having fun, drinking. Then Nia and Correia got in a fight. And during the fight, the shoes came off of Correia on the ground, and there was gifts and balloons and so forth. And the shoes came off, so Penelope picked up the shoes, had the balloons and the gifts, and then somehow they all three got separated. They all lost contact of each other. And Penelope and her boyfriend shows up at Nia's apartment because they know how to get there, and dropped off the balloons and the shoes and the purse. And then Nia arrived at the same moment. And she got a ride home from a police officer because Penelope was her ride too. Okay, this stuff actually kind of makes sense, other than the part where they all three got separated. How did that happen? Yeah, I don't know. No cap. You seem kind of conspiratorial. Why would cop drive Nia home? Yeah, I don't know. That's something that was popping into my head. Like, she's at the bar, maybe she was in a fight, and maybe the police showed up, right? Because of the fight. I mean, maybe the bar called and they showed up at Correia had already taken off, walking down the street alone. Penelope was just standing there with the shoes and gifts and so forth. And then she figured that maybe Penelope drove home Correia. I mean, it's really confusing how they all got separated. I understand Nia being drunk, but if Penelope wasn't drunk and her boyfriend wasn't drunk, how come they didn't make sure that Correia made it home? Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, this isn't some ghetto channel here, no cap. See you later, alright? God, what an idiot. Jeez. You all dumb mofos ain't listening. Ain't no maybe or conspiracy. They are snitching on each other on Facebook. Okay. Well, whatever, dude. Get the hell out of here. You sound like exactly the same morons that were in the Kanika Jenkins case that just showed up. Could barely get 2 words out. Jesus. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so the person who commented above who said that they all three were left at the same time isn't correct. Right? I don't know, Orlando. They should, though. Boy, they better get right back there. That's right, Wicked Gaming. Just trying to look into it. I don't know what the hell the part about let's see. Heard that, good job. Heard that. Security kicks a person out, they just throw them out, and that's that, right? Inform, they inform no one and leave person unowned usually, yeah. But what somebody just said something above. So they left her at the bar by herself? That doesn't make a lot of sense either. Why in the hell would Penelope leave her there? She wasn't... Here's what doesn't make sense to me, everybody. Penelope wasn't fighting with Correia. Right? She wasn't fighting with her. So why wouldn't she wait around and pick her up? Or Correia, I guess, is Jassy. Right? Like, why wouldn't she wait around and take her home? Or whatever it was. She knew she was the ride for her. Okay, so Aja is Penelope's boyfriend. Okay. Right. So that's the part that's a little bit weird about Penelope. Is that you were the ride, and somehow you didn't drive him home, but you took her. You had her shoes? Okay, let's just kind of think through this for a second. They do seem like they're up to no good. A little bit here. Because if you think about it like this. Penelope knew that she was the ride home for Jassy. And Jassy didn't have her purse, keys, the gifts, the balloons, none of the stuff with her. But somehow you didn't take her home. You just took her gifts and all that stuff home. How come? Like you forgot you didn't do anything for your friend who had no way of getting home other than you. And you knew she had no way to pay to get home because she didn't have her wallet or anything. I don't know, something weird. So, I mean, it could be some kind of a, like I was talking about earlier, sort of a setup thing with that guy that did drive her away, you know? You know, this guy that picked her up, he might know them, okay? I don't know how that was or anything like that. That's a little bit like what that person was just saying a minute ago. But, you know, you can't come here and start freaking out like some idiot on a channel like that. Doesn't work. Now, that doesn't make any sense. You know, she's in there. I'm talking about Penelope. She sounds like she wasn't even drinking, really. She's the one that gave them a ride. She's the sole ride home for Jassy, whose birthday it was. Jassy now doesn't have her shoes. Jassy doesn't have her balloons or her presents or her purse. And that's when you got to really keep track of your friend at that point. Because you're at that moment 100% responsible for all of her well-being. She has no anything. She doesn't have her, you know, shoes, for Christ's sake. There's snow on the ground. Boston's freezing this time of year. I don't know if there's snow on the ground, but it's very cold outside. Yeah. Well, it sounds like the other friend, though, literally was dropped off by the police when she got home. So I don't think she has anything to do with it. Hey, there's my bot showing up. Anyways, I'll unblock that person, but you know, you can't just come on here and just throw that out here. It's ridiculous. Doesn't work here. Might work on some of the YouTube street channels where you can just sort of throw out whatever you want, and it doesn't work here. Hey, look at Jim's got a bot. It says, "Hi, Graybot. This is not a response." See? Hell, I don't even remember what that guy's name was. Maybe I can find it. Oh, there. No cap. I'll give that person one more chance. They probably thought they were in the wrong channel. Oh, maybe they're not. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. They're now unhidden on this channel. All right, no cap, but when you refer to people like that on this channel, you'll get booted out. You can't just call people names. It doesn't work here. All right, but I assume you're from the ghetto channels, just calling people names and throwing out a bunch of bullshit when things aren't going your way. So if you do that again, you'll definitely not be on here again. All right, so give it a whirl. See if it works. Let's see. Penelope's boyfriend slapping... Where are you reading that? Penelope's boyfriend was slapping Jassy's behind at the club. Where are you getting that one? How about this? Just send me articles and so forth with information. Yeah, okay. See you later, buddy. Yeah, you seem like you're a racist. See you later, buddy. Keep reading fake news. Must have a conspiracy theory there. He got a chance, everybody. You saw it. Yeah, you saw it, but he's out of here. Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing is, a lot of this stuff we don't have a clue. You know, some of the stuff actually contradicts itself. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Today was like the first day of the news. Let's see what comes out tomorrow. Yeah, you could tell that guy's a conspiracy theory wacko. You know, how much you want to bet that this guy up here, no cap, he thinks Sandy Hook's fake. You know, I bet he thinks that's all fake. Those kids never got killed. It was all just part of some. Guarantee it. I would bet $1 million he believes that. No, I booted him too. Yeah. I don't know if he called me that. He called himself a racist. Isn't that weird? Look what he wrote up there. It's crazy. He said, "Keep spreading fake news. I ain't gonna say shit. And I'll be ghetto racist." You know, he'll be a ghetto racist ass. Isn't that weird? Isn't that strange? So he's saying he's gonna be a ghetto racist ass. That's wild. I don't know why he would call himself that. That's bizarre, but yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe he's stoned. He called himself that's weird. Now you did? Okay, let's see. You sent pictures to my email. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. This is from that night at the night? This is from the night? Oh, so that's her dancing right there. Okay. I've been in contact with a detective and I'm going to down there, so I don't understand why everyone feels they need to come at me, harassing, threaten me, just helping me. I already can't sleep or eat. Gabby needs her mother, and that should be the focus, not placing blame. All right, let's see this one. I've been through this with everyone and the police. I left her with Nia Monitor, aka, you know, whatever. Excuse me, but you're not a detective. And I left her with her because that's supposed to be her friend of 15 years. Okay, so she left first. Penelope and her boyfriend left first. That's what she's claiming. And they were at, Nia's home before she got there. So they did leave before Nia did. That girl was going crazy on me trying to fight, and I was not gonna get arrested because she was trying to fight everyone downtown Boston. What girl? I left her because she was supposed to be her friend of 15 years. That girl was going crazy on me, trying to fight, and I was not going to get arrested because she was trying to fight everyone downtown Boston. I have too much to lose to be doing stupid shit. And I messaged Jassy the day after, and she's gone off the radar before. You don't know Jassy like we do. She would always contact someone. We have been looking for her. I don't live in Boston. I drove down there to see her from Connecticut, but accusing me isn't going to find her. Her friend needs to admit she left Jassy after we were gone so we can get a lead. That is kind of interesting because Nia claims she was really drunk. So what if she's the one? Maybe she set up Jassy somehow, or just left her there too. But how come she ended up getting a ride home with a police officer? Right. We have been looking for her. I don't live in Boston. I drove down to okay. There's even video footage of us leaving Jassy with Nia. Well, there you go. Alright, so these are some of the pictures. I drove up to Boston from Springfield to take Jassy out for her birthday. Me and my man paid for everything. I didn't even know Ivana, whatever the hell, was coming. She was acting crazy. Thank you for answering. You're assuming shit based off of someone's post. First off, relax. I'm trying to find out stuff too. And this is that picture. So this is from that bar that night. And here's a guy with a beard that looks a lot like the one that we see, but this guy looks a lot bigger. Although that could be, the camera angle. But well, there's somebody. That's that guy, right? Yeah. See, there's that shirt, and then they show this person right here in the next shot because that guy does have a beard that's like that. Well, now let's go back and look at that. Okay, hold on a second. Does anybody, can you get that picture in its original form? Like copy the image and get that to me? Do you have that one? I'm not going to zoom in on the pixels here, but if you can get me this image here, Angel Simpson, if you can send me this picture right here, that would be cool. Or you probably can't because her page is closed. I'm kind of wondering if he has like a necklace on right there. So let's take a look at this and see if it's even... This guy looks pretty bulky though, That looks like a different guy to me. This guy looks a lot thinner. I don't think that's the same guy. And also, let's look at the sideburns. The hair, right? That's not the same guy there. Forget it. Not even close. So that's her boyfriend there. Okay, but it's kind of interesting. You have a similar kind of beard. It looks like. Yeah, and that's actually the boyfriend. That's that name that was put up there earlier. Right. I'm not sure what these texts are right here, but... Oh, there you go. Weird. Yeah, that's actually, it's not really... That's just the boyfriend of Penelope. Right. But what's weird is, based on everything that's been said just now, it seems more likely that Nia was the last one of them to be with her, right? And they took off. But hell, maybe they all conspired together. You know what? I'm looking forward to reading tomorrow's articles, okay? There's got to be a lot more clarity. This thing's all over the place now. Man. Okay. Here's what we seem to know at this point. I'm going to try to do this. Jassy and Nia were in the... Okay, let's start over again. Penelope and her boyfriend came from Connecticut to take Jassy to her birthday party. And Jassy said, hey, I also want to bring my friend Nia, and they've been friends for 15 years. So they also took her too. So they go to this bar, and Nia and Jassy get in the fight there. But it sounds like Nia wanted to fight everybody. You know, Nia and Jassy got in the fight. It looks like they obviously been drinking. Jassy looks like she's hammered to be doing shit like that in the bar, right? So they are drinking a lot. They get in the fight. And during the fight, Jassy's shoes came off. And so Penelope collected the shoes and took the balloons and the purse. And then they left, apparently, because they said they left first and left them there. But then how are they going to get into Nia's apartment to leave that stuff? Were they just going to leave her purse and her shoes and her balloons and her gifts all outside on the front door of the apartment? See, that's weird, right? Yeah, venue. It's called the Venue Club. Yeah, we've been talking about it the whole night, though, Pink Lady. That's why everybody else would just kind of know what we were referring to. Yeah, so don't you think that's a little weird? So they left first. So they were going to drop the balloons, the purse, and the keys all off at the front door of Nia's apartment? Were they really going to do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. However, if you believe that version, they left first because they did get to Nia's apartment first, because apparently after Penelope and her boyfriend showed up and dropped those things off, Nia shows up behind and gets out of a cop car. But she doesn't have Jassy with her. You know what's weird is at that moment, didn't anybody say, well, hell, where is she? You know, why did they go home and the next day start texting somebody? Something's pretty wacky here. Pretty wacky. Yeah, we know, Pink Lady. We've shown it on Google Earth 100 times. We were there. Yep. Yeah, it's right here. Yep. We all know where it is. We've been on Google Earth all night. That's what's funny. She's doing that thing where she just showed up like some of these other people, and then they start throwing out the information, but we've gone over it for 3 hours now. Yeah, so it's right here. Here's the club venue. See? This is where she came out of, apparently. And she was left in there. Oh my God, maybe this is the guy! Oh, I guess not. Yeah, so it's right there. This is the venue club right there. And then the surveillance that was picking up this guy. So you probably missed this part then, Pink Ladies. The police are interested in finding this guy right here in this shot. And I enhanced it quite a bit so it looks a lot clearer. Because apparently later he picks her up in a red car and drives off with it. Right. Yeah, well, we know where it all is too because we just showed it on the screen. Right. I knew you lived in Boston, though. I could tell by that accent. Yeah. You should talk to what's her name? Chasing Truth. She's from Boston too. She's another YouTuber. We did an episode on the missing men of Boston. That was actually kind of interesting. She went down to the harbor You know, I guess a lot of people fall off drunk into your ocean over there and go missing. What's the bat signal? I don't know what that means. Yeah, from Harvard. Yeah. So here's the guy walking there. Look at, see that? I think the one frame that looks the clearest is like right back. Like, it's like one of these, like this one or that one. Now, there's been a lot of them we've covered that they all were out drinking and then they disappeared off the docks. Yeah, right. Maybe not every single one of them, but the ones we there's like 10 of them. Like one of the one that was kind of weird was they were walking. It was snowing outside. They were drinking. Then his phone's next to like a fish market, and then they found him floating though right there in that little harbor. You know, so it's hard to know exactly, but. Okay, I don't believe in those kind of conspiracies like that. You'd have to prove it, and you can't really do it. Now, we're talking about the missing men of Boston. There's like a whole bunch of them. There's a website, you know. I'm not saying they're all drunk, but sometimes it's like in the middle of a snowstorm. You know, maybe they can't see very well. Yeah, I mean, he could be African American, this guy. I don't know. Although he looks really fair-skinned, to be honest with you. Like, really... You know, it could be the light, though, you know? Because right now he gets into the light. But... I don't know. To me, he looks more Middle Eastern, with the sideburns and everything. And the hair, it almost looks like there's a part or something right there. I don't know. Yeah, well, it's easy to do when a lot of them are sailors and stuff that just show up and they're walking around. They're not really that familiar. Right. I don't think a lot of people assume that. It's after you look into it. Like me and her looked into a lot of them and we were kind of like, God, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know, and then you look at a few of them and you're kind of like, oh, jeez, yeah. Well, it was 2 o'clock at night. He was drinking. It's in a blizzard right next to a dock. So, yeah, it kind of made sense. Yeah. See, I've even got the folder right here, look. Yeah. Legal seafoods. So here's one of them right here. Right? This is one of the missing men of Boston. He was at this Black Rose pub at 11 p.m. And then his cell phone was found at 1 a.m. right here. And this is where he was near this Legal Seafoods, and then they found his body right around in this area at some point. But it was an absolute blizzard out. Windy too. So there you go. I didn't ask what the weather was like in Boston. Somebody else did. But I think it's really cold there right now, I'm sure, yeah. What happened, Patricia? Okay. Yeah, so these are all conspiracies. Well, I'm glad you didn't touch on the Kanika Jenkins case, Pink Lady. You probably would have thought she was murdered and stuffed into the freezer. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're drunk and you're walking around near a pier during a blizzard, you might fall in. You just never know. especially if you're somebody that's not really from there. Yeah, see, that's cold as hell. So how would she be, why would a friend leave her there without her shoes, her purse, her gifts, and the balloons? That doesn't make any sense. You just assume she made it home without any of that stuff? And you're the ride home that she had? I don't know, man. I don't buy it. It's Kanika Jenkins, not Janica. Or I don't know if that's a different case. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, send me an email if you find some, actual factual stuff. A lot of the reporting is all over the place. Oh, she's 5'3". Oh, she's 5'7". Oh, she was at this address at this time. Oh, she was at this one at this time. So tomorrow I think there'll be a clear light shed on this. It's sort of a new thing. Everybody wants to get out the story too quick. But I think some of these comments that are written by the two friends make sense. Well, maybe she was blown into the river too, Pink Lady. You just never know. She's not really anywhere near. I mean, over here there's a wharf, but yeah. So this is another one of the cases where there's a ship was docked here, but then he walked all the way over to this area. So, yep. I think he's Cape Verdine. Yeah. And by the way, everybody, I like Pink Lady. I go onto her channel all the time. But she doesn't come here very much to know that I'm not really a conspiratorial type. All right? I challenge everybody. If you say something, I'll just go, oh, come on, Jesus, And that's where I get the comment, Gray, you're so mean. Well, that's just the way it is. Yeah. People, after they go into the water, after they start decomposing, they float. What's amazing is you could tie like a 50-pound brick, a block, onto somebody who is... let's say you killed somebody and you tie a 50-pound block to them and they get submerged. Their decomposition gases will actually float that 50-pound block up with them. It's incredible. I don't care. What do you mean it's okay, guys? Nobody's saying anything. Don't judge me by my cover. Listen, everybody, do not judge Pink Lady Luck by her cover. Judge her but what you hope is inside. I just think she's funny. Let's put it that way. I don't watch her show to get any information like, oh wow, I'm gonna learn a lot today. It's really just about it's comedy hour. It's funny stuff. I mean, it's like she's really good at imitating people. Yeah, when they say I'm mean, they're just goofing around. Lady Luck. That's a phrase that we use on my channel. Anytime I talk to anybody and say, hey, what are you talking about? Come on, you got to figure this out. There you go. Gray, you're so mean. So that's become part of the channel. When somebody says, Gray, you're so mean, that they're just goofing around. And no, I'm not saying my name over and over again. Intentionally. Well, yeah, they're going to float, obviously, because they have gases and they float. But if you told me you could tie a 700-pound block to a 1,200-pound dead cow and it would float, I might go, that's weird. Yep, gray and pink do go well together as far as colors. Yeah. What do you mean, what did her friend... I don't want to go back over what her friend said. It's all on the video, though. So, anyways, if you guys get some information on the case that it feels like it's more factual, send it to me at grayhuze2@gmail.com, and it's gray, not ey. What do you mean, Jassy? Is it extremely small? Jassy's not in here. Or, no, Jassy is? Okay, I see. Yeah, she's 5'7", 130 pounds, right? Oh, really? Wow. Did the body have anything? Was it a murder? Was it, did it have a weight attached to it? Right, you'll have to just watch it later. I don't want to read it again. I read it twice, actually, on the air. Right, her flyer says 5'3", see? See, that's the thing, that's what we were saying at the beginning. I thought I saw 5'3", and then 2 articles said 5'7" and 130. I think she looks 5'3" to me. Cool. But you're not really a crime channel, Pink Lady. You're sort of just chatting comedy kind of stuff, you know? Right. She's 5'3", 130 pounds, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, everybody's interested in crime, but she doesn't talk about it. Right. Yeah, we've been following the McStay... Well, I was following the McStay trial, or the Chase Merritt trial, but I eventually just was like, oh, God. It's like a 6-month trial. It's crazy. Actually, just like looking into cases to try to figure things out. Trials are cool too, to see if what you thought was reality becomes, is real, Right. Anyways, I gotta get off of here. I'm just finishing up 3 hours now. So do you know anything about this situation? Promise Eden? Like, do you know anything that possibly could have happened? Okay. All right. Anyways, let's see. Where are we going to do this flyby here? I think I'm just going to end the show now. So, I want to... Thank you to Patty Nielsen, Patricia Burns, NZTT, Ann Healy, Jay Crockett, Ella Rose, Kit Kat, Wicked Gaming, Beth B., and Ice Cube for your super chats. Appreciate it. All right. So right now I'm going to do the flyby. I don't know if I'll do. I think I'll. Where do you want to do a flyby, Pink Lady? Where do you want to go? Pick a spot. A beautiful place in the world that you want to fly by right now. No, just a place, okay? Time for jokes are over. Just put it in a place. Okay, oh wow, we just did one in Maui because we did the yesterday or 2 days ago, Pink Lady. We did the Honolulu Strangler, right? So I'll go back there again. Me and Ada covered the Honolulu Strangler. We went over each of the victims. It's pretty good stuff. You should go check it out. So there you go. Yeah, it was right down here in the, where was that? Oh, it was actually Honolulu, yeah. I thought that was on, I guess it's, hold on a second. Yeah, different island. I don't know why my brain was thinking it was the same one. But the Hawaiian Islands, okay. This is where the serial killer was on Oahu, I think. Is that right? Yeah, Oahu. Alright. So let's do one on Maui. Yee! Here we go. Just for Pink Lady. Thank you for showing up. Thanks, Kelly. Out in the outer space. All right. Well, thank you guys for showing up. I didn't expect the show to last that long. And for any of you stragglers out there, I mentioned earlier that my stepbrother just found out that he, about a month ago, found out he had cancer, but it's really bad right now. So if you can put some prayers out there for him. His name is Andy. I would appreciate it. He's going to need all the prayers he can get at this point. But there is a promising study, you know, like a, what do you call it, immunotherapy trial thing that he's on that looks like it, you know, we're optimistic about it, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. All right, everybody, I really appreciate you showing up tonight and going over that case, and thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Believe it or not, Blue was here the whole night. I don't think he moved at all, though, so he didn't miss anything. All right? So that's it for the show tonight, everybody, and until next time, be safe out there.